Morning, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Hope everyone is having a nice Monday morning. It was a really, really nice weekend. Temperatures well above average, but we will be seeing a little bit more seasonal weather head our way as we head into your Monday and through much of the upcoming work week. And really, the long-range forecast, again, doesn't have temperatures anywhere near where they were over the past several days. But, again, kind of the end of one month, beginning of a new month, as we're now a couple days into February. So I want to start off with kind of a look back at where we were in January and then look ahead to kind of the normals as we head through the month of February. And again, warmest temperature we had in January, 60 degrees. That actually happened twice. January 28th, 29th. Coldest we got in January was 11 degrees below zero. That was the morning of January 21st. And again, our snowiest day, again, pretty sad to see, just half an inch. That was both January 4th and 5th. So again, temperature-wise, average highs, 36.6 degrees, average lows, 12.7 degrees. You add them together, and again, divide by 2. Average temperature, 24.7 degrees, which was just slightly below normal, not by much, and good for the 62nd warmest January on record. So again, pretty typical in terms of temperatures. The precipitation, though, was not. Just 10 hundredths of an inch of liquid precipitation in January. That's 63 hundredths below normal. And again, the snowfall, just 1 inch. That's 5.5 inches below normal. So it's good for the 10th driest January on record and the 13th least snowiest January on record. So again, we continue to see this snow drought. Not just January. Again, you go back, really nothing in October, nothing in November, nothing in December, the 1 inch in January, and that's all we have thus far. And still looking and waiting for signs that that pattern is going to change. So as we look ahead to February in Lincoln, again, we're trending up. Again, we're getting into the last month of meteorological winter. Again, meteorological winter being December, January, February. So we're past now our coldest, climatologically speaking, our coldest time of the year, and temperatures are going to be on the upswing as we head over the next several weeks. Average high and low to start the month, 37 and 15. By the end of the month, that average high and low, 46 and 23. So again, temperature is going to continue to climb here over the next several weeks. In terms of precipitation, we still don't average a ton in February in terms of liquid precipitation, about 9/10 of an inch, but we do average right around 7 inches of snow in February. In fact, February, on average, for us here in Lincoln, is our snowiest month of the year. And again, the last several years, we've seen a lot of snow, but it's kind of been boom or bust in the month of February for us over the last several years. Hottest temperature ever recorded in February, 83 degrees. Coldest ever was just a few years ago, 31 degrees below zero. That's the second coldest it's ever been here in the capital city. That was February 16th, 2021. I mentioned it, but again, February on average is our snowiest month of the year. This is look at your average monthly snow. And again, you can see a little bit in October, a little bit more in November. December is really when it ramps up. And again, February is when it peaks. Again, a little over 7 inches. As you head into March, that's numbers cut in half. In April, it's just a little over an inch. And technically in May, we do still average a 1/10 of an inch of snowfall. But again, only seen 1 inch of snow so far this year. And I also mentioned it, February has been pretty boom or bust for us over the last 10 years. This is a look at the February snowfall. Again, you can see last year our last measurable snow was in mid-January. We didn't see any measurable snow in February of 2024, only a trace. 2023, though, you saw almost 10 inches, but 2022, you only saw a 1/10 of an inch. 2021, we saw over 16 inches, but in 2020, we only had 1.6. 2019, you had over almost 2 feet of snow in February. So again, it's been pretty hit or miss for us over the course of the last several years. Technically, looking at this graph, you would think that means we're due. Kind of been alternating years there over the past several years, and so we'll have to kind of wait and see how this February shakes out. One other thing you'll notice, again, is our increasing amount of daylight as we head through the month of February to start the month. It's just a little bit over 10 hours, but by the end of the month, we're going to be at about 11 and a quarter hours of daylight. Sunset time is going to go from about 5:45 to start the month to a little after 6:15 by the end of February. So again, starting to see that amount of daylight begin to really ramp up again. It was late December that we hit the winter solstice, started to slowly add time to our daylight. Now we'll begin to really ramp that up, especially as we head through the month and then over the next several months as we look ahead to meteorological spring. As far as the outlooks as to maybe what we can expect as we head through the month of February, again, this is from the Climate Prediction Center, their long-range outlook. And right now, no clear signals for, again, much of the state, whether we'd see above or below average temperatures. Slightly better than normal odds to see below average temperatures for north central and northwestern corner of the state. And then as you head further to the north across the northern plains. As far as precipitation, again, no clear signals, whether we see above or below average precip through the month. Certainly looks like the storm track will stay active off to our east. Pretty good odds of above average precipitation across the Great Lakes, kind of down through Indiana and then down towards parts of southeastern Missouri. So again, it's kind of the track that we've seen over the last several months with a lot of storm systems hitting those areas down across the southeast, the Gulf Coast. Will that continue for us? Will we kind of continue to get shut out from some of that moisture? We'll just kind of have to wait and see as we head through the month. But at least for right now, no clear signals as we look ahead into the long range part of the forecast. Your Lincoln Weather Almanac, this is numbers again for the day yesterday. Hit 62 degrees. Awfully nice yesterday. Again, a few degrees away from a record. Not quite there, but again, still awfully mild. That normal, again, 37 and 15. And again, you can see no moisture yesterday, now almost 14 inches below normal for our snowfall year to date. And again, that 1 inch of snow is the least amount of snow we've ever had this deep into the season. Again, starting to see some other years pop on there. Recently, number 6 is the 2022-2023 season. We had 3.6 inches of snow through today's date. 2021-2022 season had 3.7 inches of snow through today's date. That season, though, did end up being our least snowiest season on record, just a little over 5 inches of snow that entire season. So, again, snow drought continues, and, again, still looking and waiting for that to change. So if you look at your weather headlines for the day today, we are going to be transitioning to colder weather as we head over at least through today, and then really the coldest conditions look like they're going to head our way Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday before temperatures warm up at least a little bit. We're going to watch the chance maybe some freezing precip into Wednesday morning, maybe Wednesday afternoon. Could be a little bit of ice out there. Doesn't look like a ton, but again, we'll keep an eye on it. And then again, still really waiting for any decent snow chances to head our way. Low temperatures this morning across the state, teens, 20s, and lower to middle 30s from north to south. Coldest readings in northern Nebraska, officially at the Lincoln Airport. Temperature did drop down to 28 degrees this morning, but if you look at low temperatures on the Tempest stations across the Lincoln Metro, it was generally in the mid-30s for most areas, including 35 here at the 1011 studios. Again, the airport dipped down to 28 in the 7 o'clock hour, but then jumped back up to 36 at the 8 o'clock hour, and now, again, well above that low temperature number. Right now, skies, again, a little bit of cloud cover out there, some filtered sunshine as we start our new work week here in Lincoln. 34 at the studio, 35 at the airport. A little bit of a north breeze, though, does make it feel a little bit colder. Wind chills are in the mid-20s early this morning as you head out the door. So, again, it's not terrible out. Certainly chilly, but certainly not too bad. Again, we're pretty close to what our normal high temperature should be already at just past 9 o'clock. On the Tempest weather stations, temperatures are generally in the mid to upper 30s across the Lincoln Metro. If you look at temperatures statewide, again, cold across the northern tier of the state as cold air begins to kind of filter into the region. So again, temperatures this afternoon will warm a little bit, but not a whole lot as that cold air continues to settle into the area. Winds will also be blustery today. Already pretty blustery out there this morning. Right now, sustained out of the north at about 15 to 25 miles an hour. And we'll likely be seeing these wind gusts stick with us as we head through the balance of the day today. I think winds gusting as high as 30 miles an hour here in Lincoln, maybe 25 to 35 miles an hour in that range, but could see some wind gusts as high as 40 miles an hour across the state at times. Already seeing that this morning, gusting to 40 miles an hour in Hastings, as well as Broken Bow, 36 miles an hour in Ord. So again, look for a blustery day as that cold front has pushed through the state. You factor in that wind and wind chills below zero in a couple spots, but into the single digits again for the northern tier of the state, into the teens, 20s, and 30s across the rest of the state. Satellite radar picture, again, fairly quiet, but we do have at least a little bit of a blanket blanket of cloud cover across the state. If you look at the visible satellite imagery, again, you can kind of see some of that filtered sunshine out there. You'll also can see we finally got rid of all that snow that had been on the ground across parts of extreme southeastern Nebraska and down across parts of north central and northeastern Kansas with the mild weather that we've seen over the past several days. Finally melted all that snow, but some filtered sunshine out there this morning, but we are dry. As you look at the satellite radar picture, you zoom out, look at a regional view. There is some ongoing snow showers off to our north, kind of stretching from almost a straight line. If you go from parts of Oregon through Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, through the Dakotas, then over to the Great Lakes regions, and they have some winter weather headlines across those areas that we'll look at in a second. Otherwise, things are pretty quiet for most of the country, except for that band of some more active weather stretching across the northern tier of the United States. And again, you can see winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings in place, again, basically along that line from southern Oregon through the Great Lakes. Also have a number of dense fog advisories across parts of the Gulf Coast into the southeast. As of one point early this morning, almost the entirety of the state of Florida was under a dense fog advisory to start the week. Here at home, though, again, no alerts for us to be worried about as we head through the day today. If we check out Skycast through the day today, again, I think we see mostly to partly sunny skies through across the state. Again, blustery north wind, but we do stay dry as we head through the day on your Monday. Tonight and then into the day on Tuesday, look for partly to mostly cloudy skies, eventually becoming mostly cloudy, I think, as we head into the day on your Tuesday. But again, generally looking at dry conditions. Could be some patchy fog, some poor visibility at times, maybe Tuesday morning, and then through the day on Tuesday, kind of a gray day for us, colder. Again, maybe some spotty drizzle here and there as our winds are out of the east. Again, usually when we get those easterly winds, that can lead to some fog, low cloud cover, and again, overall just kind of gray, cloudy conditions. And then Tuesday into Wednesday, we'll watch for a chance, especially in the morning, maybe some patchy freezing drizzle as we start our day. That could lead to some slick surfaces for that morning commute on Wednesday. Just something to watch out for. It doesn't look like it's going to be fairly widespread at this point, but again, at least a little bit of freezing precipitation can't be ruled out Wednesday morning and then into the afternoon hours, but generally dry. It looks like better chances for that are going to be just off to our east across parts of northern Missouri and then over into central Illinois. So if we zoom in, take a closer look, statewide view through the day today, we'll call it mostly to partly sunny out there. Again, some filtered sunshine, blustery north winds through the day today, but we will stay dry. And then tonight into the day on Tuesday, clouds kind of thicken back up, and I think look for kind of a gray, cloudy, colder day as we head through the day on your Tuesday. But again, generally speaking, we're going to be pretty dry as we start off the work week for your Monday and for your Tuesday. High temperatures today, again, you can see quite the spread, anywhere from the upper teens, low 20s. In Falls City could maybe approach 50 degrees this afternoon. Just kind of have to see how far south that cold air can push. We'll say mid-40s in Lincoln. It'll feel colder than that through the day today. I think 44 might be a little ambitious, but again, we'll just kind of have to wait and see. 32 in Ord, 22 in Ainsworth. So again, certainly much colder across the northern tier of the state. A little bit milder into the southwestern corner of the state and the southeastern corner of the state by Monday afternoon. Low temperatures tonight, single digits, teens to right around 20 degrees. We'll go 18 here in Lincoln, which is pretty normal for early February, 13 in Grand Island, 10 in North Platte. Tuesday afternoon, colder, again, low 20s to low to mid-30s across the state in Lincoln. We'll say 34 degrees for the day tomorrow. But again, kind of just a cloudy gray day. I don't think it's going to be just one of those kind of winter days that are maybe a little sad, a little depressing at times for us. Wednesday morning, again, we're in the mid-teens to mid-20s, so again, not quite as cold. Wednesday afternoon, we'll see temperatures, again, in the eastern half of the state, low to mid-30s. Western half of the state, though, could reach anywhere from the low 40s to the low 60s. So again, quite the spread in temperatures for us for the day on Wednesday. Again, the clouds definitely will hold down the temperatures for eastern sections of the state. Thursday morning, it's low teens to low 20s. Thursday afternoon, again, chilly but seasonal for eastern Nebraska, a little bit warmer as you head west. We'll go mid to upper 30s to low to mid 40s across the state. Friday morning, mid-teens to low 20s for temperatures. Friday afternoon, a little bit warmer across the state, upper 30s to lower to middle 40s across the state. And we'll go 44 in Lincoln for the day on your Friday. 7-day forecast looks like this. Again, so you can see today, not bad, but will be breezy, transitioning to that colder weather. Tuesday, chilly, cloudy, mid-30s for highs. Chance, we'll go 30% right now, maybe for some freezing precipitation, some freezing drizzle. Wednesday, 35 for a high temperature. So again, those temperatures are going to be right around that freezing mark. 36, mostly sunny on Thursday, and then to the low to mid-40s for Friday into the upcoming weekend. 10-day forecast for select cities across the state looks like this. You can see no more 60s, unfortunately, on the board like we had over the past week or so. It's generally 30s and 40s for the next week. We do see some even colder weather. Looks like it could be heading our way early next week. High temperatures in the teens, 20s, and 30s for the first half of the week next week. Precip chances, again, are pretty slim. We'll watch for that chance on Wednesday for some, again, maybe light freezing precipitation, generally dry as we head into the weekend, and again, maybe some more low-end chances for some moisture head our way early next week. 8 to 14-day temperature outlooks from the Climate Prediction Center. This takes us through mid-February. Again, you can see very good odds for below normal temperatures during this time frame, and again, we saw that reflected in that 10-day forecast. Precipitation outlook over that time frame, February 10th through February 16th, does favor above average precipitation across the area, but again, I feel like we've seen that plenty of times over the last several weeks and months, and again, we are still in that snow drought. So again, that is the long-range forecasting. Sometimes we can call that wish casting, depending on kind of what the long-range models look at, but the way the reality is again, we've had 1 inch of snow, and we're already into early February, so we'll kind of have to wait and see how that precipitation outlook actually looks like in reality. Again, if it goes with the way the things have been going, I'm not all that optimistic. So again, really the big thing is going to be the cooler, blustery conditions today, transitioning to the colder weather over the next several days, and again, we'll watch for that chance for maybe some icy, a little bit of ice maybe on Wednesday. So we'll keep an eye on that. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching. Again, as always, keep it tuned to 1011 both on air and online for all of your latest news, weather, and sports. Hope everyone has a nice Monday.